Welcome, grammar students. Welcome to this short introduction to XWord Grammar. In this video, we will look at what is different about XWord Grammar, how does it work, and how can I learn more. What's so different about it? Traditional grammar teaches individual grammar points. It presents rules, it presents variations, it presents exceptions. Traditional grammar books look at the leaves. XWord Grammar starts with the big picture. It starts with the forest. Many of you have a considerable vocabulary and many grammar classes, but often you can't make a sentence or ask a question. XWord Grammar gives you a place to hang your knowledge. Your leaves become trees, and the trees become a forest. You learn to organize what you already know and use it to make good sentences that people can understand. You move from knowledge to understanding. How does XWord Grammar work? An English sentence is something like a train. In a train, you have to have an engine and fuel, and you might have additional cars with other jobs. Here, the engine is powered by the coal from the coal car. In English, the engine is our subject, what our whole sentence is all about. The coal car is like our verb. The verb is the fuel that runs the sentence. The engine and coal car are the two basic building blocks of English. Now, the cars in our train are in a certain set order, because it's English. If we could look inside each car, we would see that there is a set order inside, too. We would find three things: X words, middle words, and main verbs. These three things make up all of the verbs in English. They make up the verb phrase, our first basic building block. The X words are the powerhouses. They do all of the work. So, what are the X words? In traditional grammar, they're called the auxiliary verbs. We put them in groups to make them easier to memorize. There is the have group, have, has, and had. The do group, do, does, did. The be group, am, is, are, was, were. The pairs group, can, could, shall, should, will, would. And the M group, must, might, may. The X words are the center of the sentence, what everything else balances on. In fact, they have 5 important jobs. Let's look at them. X words are used to ask questions. Do you like grammar? They are used to make negative statements. Joe doesn't like grammar. They are used to find the subject of a sentence. Everything in front of the X word is the subject. They are used to change tense. By the end of this semester, Joe will like grammar. And they can be used to add meaning. Joe might learn to like grammar. Joe should learn to like grammar. Joe must learn to like grammar. Compared to our X words, our main verbs are quite lazy. Their only job is to name the action, like show, and change their form to whatever the X word wants. The third part of our verb phrase is the middle word. Middle words aren't really verbs. They are adverbs that can go between an X word and a main verb. Words like usually, really, and not are middle words. That's it. Once you learn the 20 X words, the 6 forms of main verbs, and a few middle words, you have the entire verb system of English. Now we will look at our other building block, the engine. The engine is like our subject, what it's all about. Every engine needs a noun. In English, many nouns need to be announced by a little word called a determiner, and nouns are often described by adjectives. Of course, the words in the noun box need to be in the right order. Otherwise, you can use the right words, but people won't understand you. But put the words in the right order? Most of the XWord grammar books and materials begin with these 2 necessary building blocks: the verb phrase with its XWord middle word and verb, and the noun box, which must have a noun and may have a determiner and 1 or more describers, always in a set order. What about the rest of the sentence? You learn about these 2 building blocks, the noun box and the verb phrase, in detail. But at the same time, we start to look at the rest of the sentence, and you will see that it is mainly the same building blocks, recycled and repurposed as other structures. In a typical English sentence, the third car of our train will answer the question, what? Traditionally, it is called the object. The answer to what is always a noun box with the same rules as the subject. It's like having another mini engine. Here's an example. This train has picked up what? Computers. The fourth car answers a different question, where? And what usually answers the where question? A prepositional phrase. And what is a prepositional phrase? It's a noun box with a preposition in front of it. So our sentence now has 3 noun boxes, all with the same word order and the same rules as the engine. Like noun boxes and verb phrases, every part of the sentence has a place, and every part has its own internal order. How much do you already know? If you study the phrases in the cloud, you can probably figure out what information goes in each car of our train. But like a train, a sentence won't work well if the cars are in the wrong order. Her homework in 1 bite couldn't bring, because her dog ate it, yesterday, Sam to class. It's English, so for understanding, the cars of our train and the contents of each car must be in a set order. This video gave you a lot of information. Now it's time to learn XWord grammar step by step. If you are curious to learn more, go to accessiblexword.com. Here you will find a series of lessons, exercises, and practice activities for students and teachers. In review, XWord Grammar shows students how to organize what they already know. It emphasizes the big picture, the regularities, word order, and 100% rules of English grammar, not individual grammar points and exceptions. You can find a free online course at accessiblexword.com.